Hello, my name is Paulin, and I'm in Jody's Gender Race Identity 201 class. And I just wanted to talk about how I felt and reflect on what I learned throughout this course. So, in the very beginning, like when I first came to Reno, um, I thought it was going to be super diverse. I thought there's going to be an equal proportion, but I was wrong. And then attending Jody's class made me realize that, wow, this school is really not diverse at all. Um, all my other classes, in fact, besides GRI 201, is very white space. But when I first came to GRI 201, I was actually satisfied that there weren't as many white people in that room. Um, but when I also first walked into that class, I felt very uncomfortable because, again, I was like the only Asian, kind of like one of the only Asians, and I feel like I didn't belong in that class. I feel like everyone had a connection while I, on the other hand, didn't. Um, when I first came to Reno, I wanted to leave right away just because how not diverse it was. Um, I really didn't think about my race until I attended that class and until we started doing identity check-ins. Uh, but then every time I would do an identity check-in, I would realize, wow, like I would realize so many things every time I go outside or every time I walk around, especially the stereotypes that I get. I didn't realize how common it is that people would tell me that I'm Asian or, I have chinky eyes, I can't drive, and other stereotypical things that people say. And I also did notice the whole white space, non-white space, color line. Um, it's very hard for people in the non-white space to even try to go to the white space, I realized, just because every time I walk around, I would see people in their groups, and it would all be white people, and then there would be a group of black people, and there would be a group of Asian people. There was never really a group that I saw that was diverse, but it was really different for me because I came up with my high school friends, and there's one Asian, two blacks, and two Hispanics. There's no white, and I was so thankful because the amount of white people I'm surrounded by till this day, I'm really thankful that I have a group of friends that are very diverse. Uh, Something that I learned throughout this course is the types of different sexes, I guess you can say, the different types of identities. I really did not know until I started attending GRI 201 that there's so many, like not just gays, lesbians, bis, but there's trans, there's queers, and there's so many more that I still can't even recite right now until I look it up. But it kind of shocked me because it was really fascinating because I did not know that a lot of people did not identify as just male or female. They identified as themselves as, oh, I'm this. Don't refer to me as he or she. And I just think that was really fascinating because the people I was surrounded by were just straight Asian females. But when one of our guest speakers came in our class, I was very inspired and shocked as of why there are so many different types of identities on this, like till this day. So yeah, I learned a lot. I learned a lot about my culture as well, my race, when Pacific the Pacific Asian guest speaker came to speak to us about how we feel, what position we're in, and that there's just not just Asian, there's not just Chinese and Japanese, because I remember until now, people would automatically assume that I was Chinese. And I remember my best friend, she would say that she thought that everyone was Chinese because she didn't know the different types of races that there was. So, in conclusion, just learning, attending Jody's class, and really going into depth of who I am and who everybody is was just very fascinating. Um, Especially me because I didn't know who I was, I didn't know where I belonged. But when I was writing my essay, my historical reflection during that class, I learned so much in how Korean people see themselves and view themselves. And I viewed myself as like that, I viewed myself as a very negative way. I felt like I wasn't Korean. I felt like I wasn't Asian just because I didn't know who I was, what I exactly wanted. But attending this class made me become more open-minded to see so many different perspectives. And I just want to say thank you, Professor Jody.